It's a bop every time. Hello, greetings, internet. It's us, the League of Excellent Extraordinary Negroes, here tonight in Black History Month to talk about things that bring us joy. Some of us. We'll get to you later, Julia. I'm Nick.
Shots fired.
I'm Nick.
Oh, I'm Carla Stillwell, pronouns she, hers, black.
I'm Jules, aka the Last Starfighter, otherwise known as Julia Parker.
Yeah.
I am Stephanie, also she, hers. I'm just going to put black on the end of it because I love it. I'm going to keep that for every month, not Black History Month. I'm here for it.
Absolutely.
How's everyone's Black History Month been? Mine's been long. And not
An
like a
unarmed
good
black
way.
man has already been shot in his bed.
Yeah. that
In
was
Minnesota.
Yeah,
Yes,
again.
of all
Again in Minnesota.
Again,
Again.
NRA hadn't said nothing.
The judge that sentenced the Chauvin
Mm-hmm.
was the judge that signed off on the warrant.
Wow.
Fun
We
fact.
shouldn't know this much about them, and yet we do because they keep messing up.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I thought that January was ghetto, and I get January 1 star. I feel like February with the Joe Rogan and this police murder, and I feel like February is in competition for the most ghetto month of the year, and I'm very upset because this is Black History season.
India RE
And
is giving me a half a star though. Like the way she came out, I was like, she's 5 stars by herself.
she bopping them. She was like, "Oh,
But
I'll
let me
take it
tell you
all."
why.
She was like, and let me be clear. Crystal clear.
And then went on Tamara Hall show and was like, "They sis." And my record and the record label I had at the time want to push back. I told them to stand down because I own my masters. What? Fuck. Own your music. That's why more people haven't left. Most
See,
people don't own their masters.
these hedge funds are taking over and buying up everyone's catalog. John Legend sold his catalog, and my heart hurt a little bit. And he sold his future catalog too. I'm like, are you that hard up? Is Chrissy that high maintenance?
Well, that's the thing, is
The sandals were $1,300.
I'm like, John, I feel like he would be smarter than that.
Yes.
I feel like he would be someone that would like want to own his music. Like
Glory? Come on now.
they're gonna use that. We about to see that on every car commercial for the next 15 years.
I know.
You
It's
know,
so sad.
some people are employees their whole life.
Mm.
Mm-hmm. And don't know the difference.
And there's nothing you can do to make them an entrepreneur.
Mm.
Ding
They're
dong.
employees their
That's the
whole
whole
life.
TED talk.
Ding dong.
Okay. Emotional damage. Okay, I like this. This is good.
That was a message.
Listen,
Well,
this word was brought to you by Black.
well, you know what is bringing me joy this Black History Month and bringing all of us joy and just like a good thing for our spirits right now. Abbott Elementary.
Yay!
Starring these fine people. Let's go with just some of the stats, I guess. So IMDb Rotten Tomato score. On IMDb, this has a 100% on the tomato meter. And an 82% for the audience score.
Okay.
So that's pretty amazing. 100% tomato meter. 80, I mean, I would think that the audience score would be higher, but maybe it's just because I like it a lot. And then on IMDb, it's a 7.9 out of 10, which is good for a sitcom.
Solid.
Yeah. I love this show. I love Quinta Brunson, the creator of the show. I met her on the internet streets. She worked for BuzzFeed for a while, and I just love what she's doing. I just, yeah. What do you love? What are some things you love? What do you like? What do we like about this show?
I'm going to tell you what I like. I like the way that they present the smart kids. And I like the fact that part of the underlying message is all the kids in this severely underprivileged school, most of them are really fucking awesome. And forgive my French, but I like the way that they talk about smart kids being bored, smart kids being marginalized. This idea of the gifted program. I like, because I've been in education for a long time. So that speaks to me in a different way, probably. But that's one of my big likes about this show.
You know, one thing that I do love about this show is the highly talented but underrated Black mama Cheryl Lee Ralph. I think she
and for wig, baby.
Yes.
Is she underrated? Is she? Like,
I don't think she is. I don't think she is. Cheryl ever gotten her flowers. Cheryl has. I don't. Okay.
Does she have an Emmy?
I think she has. Okay, here's the thing. Sure, she has not gotten that, but I feel like Cheryl Lee Ralph, and this is something that I love about her, and why I love her, is that like she is a true like Cheryl has her avenues. She's producing shows. She's doing what she wants. Yes, she hasn't gotten like the flowers that we would give, I guess, or the flowers from society. But I think that we celebrate Cheryl, and I also think that she has a super like legit artist career. Like it's not like she is a true artist. Like
people do not understand that Cheryl Lee Ralph was the original Dina in the original Dreamgirls, baby.
Yes.
She's been doing this for a long time. And she kept
knows
her
what
career.
She's doing.
She's kept her career. I think she's chosen good roles, but I still want more Cheryl. I don't feel like I agree. We don't get enough.
But hold on, wait just a minute. Ding dong, we got a special guest. It's 40% of Jade!
Hello. Hey, baby.
Jade, we miss you.
Hi, how you doing?
We're doing good. How are you?
I'm okay. I can actually talk.
Got the audacity to look beautiful.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I cannot laugh yet, though. Okay, I'm here. Hello. Hi, everybody. It's so good to see you.
So good that you're here.
Oh, 40% of my Jado Beto.
Right. Yeah. To continue this conversation about Cheryl, girl Toby Corbino, says she gets her love from the US, but her career is solid. Yes, I would agree. Carla, continue. I feel like I cut you off.
I don't know what I was talking about, except Cheryl Lee Ralph has not. I don't give enough of her, and when I see her, I'm like, yes, I've needed this, and this wig they put her in. This wig, it speaks to my spirit. I know that woman, and she has taught kindergarten. She has taught kindergarten since like 1873. You're like, how are you still here teaching kindergarten? That wig speaks to me personally. I was taught by that wig multiple times growing up.
I've worked with that wig in different states, in different schools. It's the same wig. Yeah.
Okay, what are the names of teachers with that wig? Washington.
Miss Snell was mine. Miss Snell had that wig.
Mine wasn't Washington.
I believe Miss Neri had that wig as well.
Yeah, Miss Williams had that wig.
I had a white nun named Sister Marcella O'Rourke that had that wig.
Oh,
Okay.
I just pulled it up. Miss Coffee.
Sounds like she had that wig.
Let us know in the chat what teacher in your life had this wig that is on Shirley Ralph. Let us know.
I mean, I could be wrong, but Toby is in the chat. She will tell me if I am wrong. But did she or did she not? I'm just memories. Toby was there.
It's the wig.
Steph,
Hey, Nick.
what do you like?
I'm gonna circle back. I really like that there are Black teachers, right? Like I know Black teachers exist, but most Black children do not get to have a Black teacher. And even if they don't get to have a Black teacher, my daughter sees the Abbott Elementary commercials and is like, "Oh, that's that teacher who loves everybody." And like, I love that that's who she thinks that character is. She's a teacher who loves everybody. And I'm like, just for that to exist is beautiful. I was very upset when Black Lady Sketch Comedy, whatever that show's called, and Oh Girl wasn't on it. I'm like, well, where'd she go? Where'd she think she's doing? She came to do this. And thank you very much. I am so happy she created this show. It is a delight. Also, as a person who has lived in Pennsylvania, just all the Philly references are like so spot on. That makes me feel nostalgic. I love that part.
Jade, what do you like about the show?
Well, when I saw the premise, I was like, this is my life. And the first episode, that was me. I was the new young teacher coming in with all the gung-ho energy and gonna change the world. And
Yeah.
I think the first time I actually really got the bass loud voice, all the veteran teachers on my floor, because it was an open space school, they all came, like 5 teachers came to my room and were like, what did y'all do to Miss Rogers? So yeah, that was, I felt like this was something I had never seen on television before, and it really spoke to me.
I also just want to shout out, on a practical sense, all these little Black babies getting checks.
Baby,
they out here, they about to have some funds. Like they about to have college funds.
I love it so much.
Like it just brings me, because they talking. These children are speaking on the show and recurring. They are recurring. Like these babies are getting paid.
Their lines are being delivered. Yes.
And they're
Not
and
all
they
of them have names though. Which
you don't need a name to get a check. Listen, I played security guard and barista. I'll take it. Security guard and barista.
But we do know, what was her name? Courtney?
We know Courtney.
And we know
Courtney.
the other, I can't
Deshaun.
remember his name now, but no, I have to give some special acting shout outs. Sister plays the principal. I cannot think of her name right now.
Yeah, I was gonna transfer into Who's Who because this cast is amazing. Let's talk about Janelle James, okay?
This broad right here. She is
so messy.
She is silly.
Am obsessed. Have you watched her stand up? I suggest
Yes, I
you go
have.
watch
She's
a little bit of her
very good.
stand up. She is so funny because she is this
funny.
woman. Like she is just on the screen. Just being her whole self.
I had traumatic flashbacks because I had that principal. I taught under that principal for one half of a semester. I stayed at that school, only half.
Here's another question: what teacher in your life do you know with this wig?
Which one?
None. That's
Which one?
See, back in the day when I was in school, that wig would have been fully unacceptable for a teacher. I was taught by Cheryl Lee Ralph's wig. This is very current. This is very recent wigage for school.
That was my play wig.
She killed me on the first day, on the first episode when she got all that money and was like, I got the school a sign with the picture of her on it. I was dead. I was like, you're disrespectful and you don't care. This is my favorite character of all time.
Baby, you know who else? Shout out to the brother that plays the janitor.
yes.
Yeah.
He has the best line. Oh my god.
Wait a minute. I gotta get a picture of his face.
Find him. Let us discuss, because people do not understand that he has a dream job as an actor. He's in every episode. He speaks every time, but he don't really have nothing to do except lurk around.
And we all know this janitor.
regular.
Mhm.
Every single one of us knows this janitor.
He said that that printer was trash. Put it in the trash can.
His name is William Stanford Davis.
God bless him.
He's
He must have lived
amazing.
a good actor life. Like he earned whatever he did in his life. He must be an amazing person, because this is the role of a lifetime. That custodian. Oh,
But you know,
he just comes around
also,
shady. He took the broad money.
but you know, I appreciate that she put him in there because, especially in Omaha, Nebraska, where you may not have Black teachers, there were janitors.
Mhm.
And for
Janitors look out
many
for
Black kids in this school system, that was the only Black person that they may have seen
Mhm.
throughout the day. And they remember that person because my father was a janitor for many years after he left the packing house. And my mother said he couldn't just be sitting around. He had to get another career because he retired. She was like, no, you got to do something else. And we would go places and people would, Mr. Rogers, Mr. Rogers. And it was all the kids from the school. So
Yeah,
they remember the janitors.
I give a shout out Omaha North High School, Mr. Lucky. He just
Yes.
passed at the end of 2021, I think.
Oh.
But he retired. It was a big thing on Facebook. Everybody was making these posts about. I mean, he was a staple. Like he was a significant part of going to school at North. Like you knew Mr. Lucky.
Yo, like class of
and
2000,
also-
he was there. Class of 2000, I graduated, and he was there. Okay.
I graduated in 2011, so he stayed there for a long time.
How young are y'all? Okay.
Really? Julia, class of 2000. He was there. I was so grown.
I
in
turned 40 this year. What's wrong with y'all?
2000. Lord, little baby people. Tiny baby people.
I feel so old in this moment right now, but we're gonna push through. We're gonna push
through by giving a shout out to Chris of Everybody Hates Chris.
Let me tell you
Everybody
something.
loves Chris.
He is doing. I love his character, and I like their little office.
How
romance
long?
that's
How
going.
long is it gonna be? How long are they ever gonna get together?
They will.
No, this is what they did in The Office. You know those two.
Yeah.
If you watch The Office, they did that 5-6 seasons. It'll be like before they get together. But
And
it's
the
so
director
watch me.
of The Office directed most of these episodes.
So yeah. Mm-hmm.
I see it.
Okay.
You know who else I really like? I like the white teachers on this show. I like both of those white teachers because
she's amazing.
There's
him.
the man.
What's this guy's name?
Jacob?
I'm put up the whole
His
cast.
name is Mr. Bailey
There.
from C.D. Hilton High School. That's his name.
His name is Jacob, played by Chris Perfetti, and Lisa Ann Walter plays Melissa. And Lisa, I know from The Parent Trap. I remember I was like, "That's Jessie." I have loved her for a long time. Like she is one of my favorite actors ever, and she's this same woman. In
like,
Parent Trap.
she's funny. She is funny. But I'm going to tell you, my teacher, that the Mr. What's his name, the little white boy,
Mr. Perfetti,
reminds me. I had a teacher, Mr. Peterzak, this Polish man in this Catholic school full of Black children. And Mr. Peterzak decided that he was responsible for us learning gospel music. So this little Polish man, Michael Peterzak, learned every song in the Lead Me, Guide Me hymn. He made them buy. So our little Black behinds could know our cultural, spiritual music. And when he got out of his depth, he went to high school and got the choir director, Miss Brown, to come and direct Black children. And he sat there and he soaked up the knowledge and he rocked back and forth. He's still alive today, changing lives for little Black children all over the city of Chicago.
Well,
He's
I
that
don't remember
guy.
her name. The other teacher, the white teacher.
Mr.
At South
Priscilla.
Philly.
Yes. I taught with her. She was Black. Her name was Miss Hatchet. That's all I'm gonna say.
And she knew a guy that knew a guy.
She knew a guy. Her church was next door to the school. She lived in the neighborhood. She knew everybody.
She's like snake eggs, chicken eggs, whatever. I got you.
Oh, right. She's
That
like,
was so funny.
like Mr. Snake gets me chicken eggs and Mr. Chicken gets me snake eggs, and I called Mr. Chicken for the eggs, and that's what's it. Like what? Like this is so good.
The Philadelphia rugs were like perfect, like that scene. I was just like, she got him some eagle. What's your name? Don't worry about what his name is. Like, they're just teachers who get it done. They don't need to go. They don't need a portal. They don't need an Amazon wish list. Like, what do you want? I know a guy. Hold on.
You asking too many questions.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I also enjoy that that they all like their jobs. Like they actually enjoy what they're doing and they want it to be great for their students. There's no plot line that's like the teacher that actually hates school and except for the principal. But she's hilarious. Looks like Carla's frozen, but we're just gonna let that work itself out.
I'm scared to know what Julia doesn't.
I was gonna say, I think it's time to turn that corner. I've avoided it for quite some time. So Julia, please let us know.
This might be where I pop off.
It's causing me anxiety in my body. I need to know.
Jade, listen, you don't need this stress. Thank you so much for joining us. We want you to get better.
Let me hear her first.
Okay.
All right. So everyone is drawing comparisons to The Office, right? But I think of it as Community with elementary kids, but without Donald Glover. Like, I mean, some parts are funny, but he just makes everything better.
Wait, I'm sorry. Is your critique of the show that Donald Glover isn't on it?
That seems to be what she's saying.
My critique how would Community be if it didn't have Donald Glover? Like, it would just be mediocre.
Is Abbott Elementary.
And Abbott Elementary is mediocre.
Are you
like, I'm rooting for everybody Black, so I'm gonna watch it. Okay, Quinta, I like her. I liked her in Black Lady comedy.
It was so funny. Yeah.
She was so good.
See.
And she was on Robin Thiede's show before that, and a lot of the female characters have been on Black Lady Comedy Sketch Show and with Robin Thede, but there's something that still doesn't push it over the mark for me. It still ends up mediocre, but I have not been in the classroom, so that might better inform. And it's been a long time since I've been, in elementary or
and you didn't go to Black school.
Like, yes, and in Black schools. So I think I would have loved to have Lind on tonight, who's a teacher and who comes from a family of teachers. But I'm glad you're here, Jade, so you can listen to my rant. But I just think it's just okay.
It's just so painful.
I'm telling you, and I know the ratings have quadrupled and teachers around the world are loving it. But that's not my perspective. That's not where I come from. And to me, it's just a Donald Glover short.
I want to, before anyone responds, I think that we all just need to take a beat. We'll be right back. Okay.
We still going to Ohio anyways. Listen, that was a break and we took it.
Well, clearly we are spiritually going to Ohio because Jules is out here Scottish.
Good night, everybody. The show has been derailed. We can't do it anymore.
I told y'all didn't like what I had to say tonight, but I represented.
I mean,
Okay, Steph, please.
I will say this. This show, because of my experience as a teacher and because of my years in black ass schools with blackness, it hits nostalgia buttons for me every week. It really does. So that does make it probably more enjoyable. So I'll give you that. But what I will not allow you to do is to talk about Donald Glover like he has changed the life on any show. This we cannot stand. I cannot.
Julia, maybe
stand for this.
Maybe tap into the Girls Inc. experience.
Okay. And just for full knowledge, like I met Jade Rogers when I was like 5 or 6, and her name was Miss Jade at
9.
Girls Incorporated.
She was 9.
9. Okay.
Class of 2000.
She was dating She was really gonna age you up.
I
Oh,
Somebody brought the shade to Julia.
We went to Ohio and things got messy. I was like, what?
oh my God.
Okay, wait. Okay. I will say, having reflected and thought on what Julia said, I think that the show there are some moments that it doesn't feel shiny. Like, I feel like there are certain things about the types of shows that usually land in this world that feel kind of like shiny and like pop. And I think that there are moments that like don't necessarily like pop. However, I don't think they need to for my money. But I understand how someone who typically likes this brand of show may not see them or think they're going as far as they should. Because as funny as this show is, it's like really like it's rooted in a real place. Like there's no like there's not a lot of like outlandish things that are happening. Like the outlandish thing is how dismal the education system is and how they're not supporting schools in black and brown neighborhoods. But it's not like there isn't like obscene wackiness.
Well, and on that note, on the flip side, I don't know that they go far enough. Like I don't hear any mention of teachers' unions. I don't hear any mention of, pension plans for these teachers or wraparound services for these kids. Like, if you want to go there,
is this a documentary? No,
go there.
But that's not what's happening day to day.
But this is why
it doesn't go far enough.
That's the thing. That for you, that I see where you're going with this, but in real life, teachers don't talk about the union. They don't care. They don't want to go to the union meeting. They just want to know when the strike is coming or when they get a day off. Teachers don't discuss that. It's not
never been to a meeting.
Like the things that society makes an issue for education is really not. No teacher has time to focus on any of that minutia. When you see them in the street, it's because they've been told because the contract is up. And that's just what we're doing this week. It's not and there's generally, what you're looking for will probably happen at some point.
And there's generally just one teacher. There's just one teacher from that school that goes to those meetings because nobody else has time. So that one teacher generally goes, and then they bring back the information for all the people that are really engaged.
Can we talk
about
that
wish list episode?
That's gonna be her. She's gonna be the one teacher.
That wish list episode is real.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That was real. That was hilarious because that is real. Teachers be out here begging. These are actual websites.
Yep.
Listen, I checked my daughter's class wish list like the day after that show. Everything had been purchased. All of it. And so I don't need the show to be a documentary on like whatever. Like I want us to get to exist in regularness. I want us to get to exist and just exist, not exist and be like I want I want you to push the envelope. Just exist.
See, I don't know in 2022 if we can just exist, right? There
We
are
can't.
opinions everywhere, and the sitcom is a way to influence that political position. You know, the Cosby Show had its own political implications. You know, they talked about the war
Mufasa.
on.
Yeah, we didn't bring that up today.
Well, yeah, I mean,
We're gonna be a regular guy.
you can't talk about that. But I mean, like there was this whole like promotion of black middle class or promotion of pulling yourself up by the bootstraps. But we're not gonna talk about that. You can disagree with that, Carla, if you want to. That
We've
that was
only
more
done like 5
Reagan-esque.
episodes.
No, yeah, and here's the thing. I'm not going to disagree with the point. I'm going to push back on the idea.
Okay.
To Stephanie's point about can we just be ... I personally cannot always control the lens with which I look at things because of my life experience and because, racism. But I had to get to a point. I'll use the Perry of the Tyler as an example. You can feel however you want to feel about that situation, but there is an audience of Black people that just want to watch their stuff, giggle, and check out and be there. And that's okay because white folks have had Adam Sandler movies for years and nobody complained about it having no depth. Nobody asked for anything more. They sit around, they watch their Melissa McCarthy movie, and that's part of privilege. Being able to see yourself in a place that is whatever you be able to go wherever you want to go to enjoy story without it having to speak to every issue. It is freedom for Black people to just have a show about nothing.
I appreciate that, but Seinfeld was on 25 years ago. And I think that in 2022, that you just can't have a show about nothing that doesn't pick up on the political zeitgeist.
But
You
that's
don't
why
think
it's
this picks up on any
revolutionary.
political zeitgeist?
I think it totally does. I think it is having the conversation.
What I said was that I didn't think it went far enough.
But we only got 5 episodes.
It ain't moving.
Let's get a season 2.
I'm like, let's just be. I mean, it existing in 2022 after a year of storming the Capitol and every other foolish thing we had. People talking about shithole countries and bad cities. For them to uplift Philadelphia and have these good teachers in Philadelphia is a revolution all by itself.
I mean, and also let's talk about the actual business of it. Quincy Brunson is making lots of money, is creating lots of space for children, is creating lots of space for people that we don't think have gotten their flowers. She is, I think that she was pretty closely involved in handpicking this entire cast. And is showing a different level of these aren't the stars. These aren't the name. She is creating an avenue for people in this industry on this side. And I also think in 2020, there was a lot of conversation about the lesson that needs to be learned and who needs to teach it. And it was pay your Black friends for teaching lessons. And then 2021, it was we tired of teaching lessons. I don't want to do it no more because y'all ain't trying to learn nothing. And so I think if this show can live in the area where it's having those conversations, but not in a way that is. This show does not exist to teach the lesson of how rough it is to be a teacher in Philadelphia. It is just a snapshot of teachers in Philadelphia that are roughing it to be good for their students. And I think that's awesome. And like Jay said, we haven't really gotten far, so maybe they can dig deeper, but
what it also does is, for me, having just come out, well, I'm still in a classroom, but working in an elementary school, I was doing that just a few years ago. What it does is it shows positive teachers with students that look like the students that we see every day in Black and brown neighborhoods, that come in ready to learn, and these teachers are giving everything that they have to these kids. And most teachers are, not all teachers, but most teachers are. And after 2 years or more, I don't even know how long we've been in a pandemic, of yelling at teachers for not doing enough, and teachers having to pivot to go online to teach classes, and teachers that have never done that before, and having a modicum of success or a great success. I think that this celebrates the thing that every teacher goes into this with, the joy of teaching and learning. And it was just refreshing, and like you it was refreshing, and like that's what it's about. And every teacher needs that.
And
And
they're
people
And these
people
characters
don't
are
often
deeply
see
human.
that.
Well,
They're deeply human.
do you think it's a missed opportunity to sidestep the pandemic? Because that is where
Mhm.
education is right now.
No.
No, I don't.
Mm-mm.
I
I'm
think
actually happy that it's not. I'm happy that it's not involved. I'm like, we can just know. And,
Yeah.
but I mean, but like, I don't think there are many shows that ever celebrate the teacher as a hero.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think the teacher is like always like an adversary. The teacher may be like a confidant. The teacher may be a support system, but like,
Or white savior.
right.
Mhm.
Welcome back, Cotter.
Higher learning. No, Dangerous Minds. That's
Lean
Dangerous
on
Minds.
me.
Well, he was black, but
What?
Joe was black. Okay, the HNIC. So
Child.
he said.
That's all I
No,
can
but
think
I do enjoy the fact that these teachers have deeply human stories. Like Quinta's character is in a stupid relationship. Like, and we
Mhm.
get that, and Melissa's wants to date, and that cute little call with her ex-husband. Like, you find out
Oh, that
it's
cute little call,
unfolding.
like,
Wasn't
That
that the
call was
cutest
so
thing?
sweet.
and then it was so quick and just happened. It would just happen on the hallway.
Mhm.
Just gotta have a call real quick.
Right. Because that's how you would take calls in the classroom all day.
right.
That's
Mhm.
how you know, on your half a lunch break. That's how you get through the day with stuff like that. So I just find it nostalgic and sweet. I enjoy this little show. It's cute.
And the
Tiny
fact
short.
that you can have those moments in your day as an educator where you are fully engaged with your class, and then pivot to make that phone call, and then pivot right
Mhm.
back out to be the teacher. And that's real.
It's
All
given
right.
what it was supposed to have gave for me.
What's
It
the
did,
score?
girl.
Right. Jay, this is your first time going. You get to give a score first. Of the series so far, we are acknowledging that the show is not done, that there are only a few episodes out. But we thought it was good to talk about this show, like, since it's new, it's exciting, it's Black History Month, and we need some joy in our lives. And so the score so far, and let us know in the comments, what is your score? 1 to 5, low, 1 being low, 5 being high, of Abbott Elementary so far. Jade.
10. Be like Mick. 10, 10, 10, 10.
Cthulhu.
And
Cthulhu 10.
and
Oh, I miss
ow.
him.
Ow. And the fact that she named, did you talk about how she named the show?
Oh,
was so
no, not
sweet.
yet. Tell the story, Jade.
That Abbott is for her 6th grade teacher. And so they've reconnected on Jimmy Kimmel. Jimmy Kimmel contacted the teacher and had her up, and she didn't know that it was named after her. She suspected, but then Quinta said it in an interview, and then she knew. So
Mhm.
it wasn't like they had been in touch in all this time.
Oh.
I just thought that was,
Oh.
that's
Quinta just
what
cried.
you want.
Quinta,
She cried the
like,
whole
she
time.
couldn't even talk to her.
Nope, she did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's what you want, because you are pouring something into these kids on a day-to-day basis. Doesn't matter if they're 5 or 35. You're giving something of yourself to them, to be a teacher, to be a good teacher. doing the thing that you're supposed to be doing is a calling. Not everybody teaching has that calling. But
Right.
when you do and you're activated in it and you're doing it, the pay, nobody would do this for the amount of money the teachers actually get. And summers off
Right.
is a joke. Summers off is a
Spreading
joke.
that check out.
You do it so that 20 years later, you see that kid and they're like, hey, Miss Jade. And you're like, they remember me and they seem to be doing well, or they remember a lesson that I taught, or they remember something that they've moved into their lives and it has helped them in some way. That's all you want. So 10.
That's it. That's it.
Carla, what's your score?
Oh, I'm echoing the 10. I'm echoing the 10. It's I believe I 100% co-sign with Jade. I had she's in college. She's working with the theater I'm working with now. She's a little musician. And she came to me, she said, you know, Miss Carla, I keep telling the story that you told me, and I don't know if I'm telling it right. I said, what is it? She said, every time I hear somebody say picnic, I tell them what the story is. I tell them why it's bad. And she was like, because I tell them that's what they would do, and they would hang on that person and they would eat around them. And I said, oh, you're telling it right? Mm-hmm. Yep. So I said this to this child 3-4 years ago. This child has been out here educating the masses. She's like, don't say that. And that's why this show is beautiful and nostalgic to me. It makes my heart go pitter patter because, like Jade said, that's what we do it for. That's what you do it for. You to make those kind of differences. And I think the show, especially the way they teach the quote unquote gifted, the very smart, the fact that they really focus on that boredom that happens with really smart kids in this type of environment is so important to me. That's revolutionary. So bop, 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 bop.
Julia?
I'm gonna give it a 3. It's not a bad show. I'm not saying that I hate it. I'm saying that from my perspective, from my lived experience, it is mediocre. But I do love any presentation of Black people in the workplace as hard workers, Black people in careers, living their best life. Okay? We need more of that. So I appreciate that. And I love that it's a Black showrunner and a Black woman in the writer's room. So I appreciate that.
Black creator. She gonna make her money.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yes.
I'm with it. I'm with it.
Steph?
So I just thought of this when Julia said it. I did not ever go to a Black school. So me getting to see that the thing actually exists and there are actually Black kids somewhere that got to just be together and got to be safe in a different kind of way while there was unsafety around. I'm like, wow, that's not part of my lived experience. But I'm glad to see, we don't need to see any more Black kids in the suburbs struggling shows, right? So I like that this exists. I come from a family of educators. I'd go see my grandma in the summer and every kid, Miss Williams, Miss Williams, Miss Williams. I was like, are you a superstar? My mom was like, yeah, she's a teacher. And that line never left my body. She said, yeah, she's a superstar. He's a teacher. And she could have said something else, but she said yes. And I'm like, oh, teachers are superstars. For me to get to see Black superstars on TV is just my best. I'm going to give it a 10 because what that does is make the average 8.3. So we're going to take that 3, okay, and it's a weighted average, and so we're going to make it, it's a 10, it's solid. So I'm here for it. Nick, please come through to keep the average up. Good sir.
With a 10, should I give? I mean, yes, I give it the highest score possible, which is a 5, but I'll say 10 tonight. I think it's great. I mean, I have never worked as a school teacher because, as my mom said, I would go to jail. I would fight somebody's kid. I ain't got that much patience. Um, but I have done a lot of after school programs, and what I really love about this show is like I know all these kids, every child that they show, like, and they give you that much personality the moment that you meet them. Um, and I also know these teachers. I love like working with teachers to train them to be able to teach musical theater and like things like that. And the knowledge that they have about their students, it astounds me. Like, I'm literally in the business of knowing names so that I can like give people jobs, and I don't know nobody's name. But these people know they know their students, they know their quirks, they know what's going on at their homes. Like they they take a lot from them, like because they know their situation or whatever it is. And I just admire that they are showing that they're showing that version of an educator. Uh, it's super important to me. So
Okay,
Can
wait,
I
one
just
more.
I just want to
Oh,
put
yeah.
something on the table because I feel like we're having a celebration of teachers. So here's a little known fact. If you've never been in a classroom full time or a teacher or assistant, every year the teachers at the beginning of the school year get a book, IEP. Every student that has a learning challenge that needs special assistance, they get this book and they have to know what everybody's disability is. They have to know how much time they have to give them for assignments. They have to know all of this about these kids. I was in a class with I was doing a drama class with a teacher. He had 3 classes back to back, and he had 8 to 10 students with learning disabilities in each of those 3 classes back to back. They out here doing God's work.
My first year in DC public schools, I taught 5th grade. I had 14 girls and 3 boys. I taught in between 2 other senior 5th grade teachers. So basically, when I got there, they gave me all the kids that they didn't want, which were all Courtneys. And all
Mm-hmm.
3 boys had IEPs, but none, a class full of Courtneys. And it
It
was,
happens. It happens.
yeah, I learned real quick to just to understand that these were little human beings that were young with old souls. And a lot of teachers told me this is the last class that we will have on this particular level because there was a whole new generation of kids coming after this one, and they were absolutely right. My nicknames for the girls were Harvard, Yale, Stanford, Columbia. They all had a nickname because they were all like super intelligent, but they were all Courtneys. you turn you turn your back and something's gonna pop off. I had to keep them engaged. And that experience, I would never give up. I would never go back and change anything. They sued me. That's a whole story about the lawsuit that was. And I turned it into a learning opportunity and a full year classroom experience. And it changed my life. And after that class, I said, okay, I'm done.
wow, we're gonna have a whole episode to unpack that. I would like to bring out some scores from the comments. Stephanie Porta says it's a 5. I love it. Love the realness of experienced teachers and romance and the grumpy janitor and love of a new teacher. Remember when she said she ran out of gold stars because her kids are so smart? That was very funny.
That was good.
hilarious. Tony Bagel says, well, I went to black schools all my life. It seems legit, but I love its quirkiness and the characters. 4 stars. Love it. And Tony just started. So welcome to watching, Tony. I hope that we inspired you to watch. Thanks for being in the chat, y'all. Come back, bring your friends. Carla, what you got going on? Where can we see you?
Oh, child. I'm just out here producing. Um, uh, we are going to be doing a reading of the trial in the Delta, the murder of Emmett Till, at DuSable Museum here in Chicago on the 26th and the 27th of February with one of my gigs, Collaboration Theater. This piece that was created based on the actual trial transcripts from the murderers of Emmett. Was it Milam and Bryant? And the testimony is riveting. The things that they said that echo to the Chauvin trial and to the Aubrey and to the trial of the McMichaels, and it's amazing. So just follow me on all my fake Twitters. Miss Stillwell, Carla Stillwell, and you're in Chicago. Come on out on 26th and 27th of February to DuSable Museum.
All right, Julia.
You can find me on Twitter for the most part. If I respond, because I'm just that way. But no, check me out online, and I will continue to be the skeptical last starfighter.
We love you. Steph?
I'm on Instagram. One day I'll tweet, but it's just not going to be yet. So I'm going to be wherever Jade is. I'm going to be with the book club. I'm going to be watching things for the Little League because the kids love the shows, and just helping the youth find things that bring them joy is what I'm about. And just plug, did y'all see when she stole the cafeteria person's potatoes? I mean, that was funny.
It's so funny.
She's like, I don't like
But when the
potatoes. I'm
snake-
like, girl.
When the snakes hatched.
Oh man, everybody screaming and running, hilarious.
So now we have 5 less. That's good. And she kept teaching. She was like,
right.
Good math.
She was like, you're right, correct.
Somebody find these things. So I am here for it. Nick, where are you? What are you doing right now?
NickWickham.com, the come up with NickWickham.com. I am back every month with hot takes. This month, my friend Dahlia Kinsey, who's a nutritionist and a wellness coach, is going to be on. And she has a new book called Decolonizing Wellness that I'll be doing a giveaway with on my socials soon. So keep your eyes peeled for how to sign up for that. And then, what else am I doing? I'm just in these art streets making stuff happen. Jade, do you want to close us out? What's going on at the house?
Jade has surgery and she is not back to herself yet, which is why she keeps leaning like this. And she's in recovery. So you take it.
So on February 10th is the House Discussion Series 1619 Project. February 17th is the book club that Stephanie was talking about. We are reading Wild Seed, so get your copy. Start reading that now. February 19th is special Black History Month virtual game night. So that'll be a great time. And to find information on all those things, visit afroscapescurls.com and RSVP on our Talkify calendar. But until then, thanks for joining us. Thanks for being in the chat. Thank you for the panel for a lively discussion. Jade, it was great to see you. Get some rest.
Go sit down. Go lay down.
Go
You
sit down.
at
We
this
said
point.
sit down.
Sat down. Sat down. You're rocking the boat. See you next week.
Hey, 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 hey.